Hello guys, I am back with my second video. It is about object-oriented design. In previous video, I discussed about the object-oriented analysis. It was a first step, and now after analysis, we are going to design the software or the system. Okay, fine. So let's start with object-oriented design. Okay, it involves the designing the objects, classes, and the relationships between the classes. It will involve the designing of objects, classes, and the interrelationships. Okay, what is objects? Objects are the instance of a class. Okay, and classes are basically blueprint or template in terms of data and operation. Let me give you an example of a TV. We all are having TVs. Let us take this example. We are going to describe data and operations of the class TV. There will be an on and off button. There will be channels in TV. There will be volume and volume level buttons in remote. Okay, the data is a state that is fixed, and the operations are the actions which are changing according to the user. We will be turning on and off the switch or the buttons to make the TV on and off. This is an operation. We will be changing the channels from one channel to another channel. Then we will be changing the volumes. The volume will be changed. The volume will be high. The volume will be low. These are the operations. So class consists of data plus operations. Okay, objects are basically the noun. We are giving a name to the particular object, that is a noun. Then comes the terms we are using in the object-oriented design that will be helpful in our further studies of object-oriented designing. First term is instance variable. What is instance variable? Data, attributes, state that are specific to an instance object. An instance object. One object, there is a one object, there is second object. There will be different instance variables for every object. Okay, then comes the instance method. Okay, operations are specific to an instance object. One object will be having an specific operation, second object will be having specific operation. They are specific to an instance object. Then comes the class variable. Class variables, data, attributes, state that are not specific to an instance variable. That will be same for one class, another for the different for the different class. That are not specific to an instance. एक इवेंट के लिए वो सेम नहीं होंगे. An instance variable, the state that are specific. Then comes the class method. Fourth term, operations that are not specific to an instance, that are not specific. The instance method was specific to an object and class method is not specific to an instance. Then comes the constructors. Constructors here are same as we are having in Java, C, C++ programming languages. These are special methods that create and initialize the object. It will create the methods, special methods, and initialize different objects. Okay. Then we are having the stages in designing. Stages of designing. There are two stages, that are conceptual design and second one is detailed design. We'll be discussing both of these stages. First stage is conceptual design. It will recognize all the classes required to build the system. All the classes will be recognized to build a particular system. Then responsibilities are allocated to each class. First we will recognize the classes, then we will allocate all the responsibilities to each class. Then the third step is, if you are doing high level designing, class diagrams and interaction diagrams are used. There will be two types of diagrams involved in conceptual design, that are class diagram, and the second one is interaction diagrams. Okay, what are class diagrams? Class diagrams are used to analyze the relationship between classes. It is justified from its name. It will analyze the relationship between the different classes. What are interaction diagrams? Interaction diagrams will show the flow of events. There will be it will be telling us about the events that we are going to perform. Okay, so it is about the conceptual design. Now comes to the second one, that is detailed design. In detailed design, attributes and operations are allocated to each class based on their interaction diagram. We are having the two diagrams. In first stage, we will be having two diagrams, that are class diagrams and interaction diagrams. In detailed design, we will be allocating different attributes and operations to each class based on their interaction diagrams, based on their internal structures. We will be allocating attributes and operations based on their internal structures. Then there is a diagram named state machine diagram. In previous conceptual design, we were having two diagrams, that was class diagram and interaction diagram. In detailed design, we are having the state machine diagram. The state machine diagram is developed to explain the next details of a design, is called as low level design. So conceptual design is using for high level designing, and detailed design is using for low level designing. Okay, in the detailed design we will be having more documentation, it will be having more detailed view, more steps, more concepts, and more pieces of information we will be having in this detailed design, in this stage of design. So in this video, I told you about object-oriented designing and the stages of an object-oriented designing, that are conceptual design and detailed design. So till now we have completed our two questions, that are what is object-oriented analysis and what is object-oriented designing. So if you got the questions like this, you have to explain what I told you, and I will be very grateful if you will like my video and subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends to help them. Thank you.